Good afternoon, Mr. Kinney.
Good afternoon. Thanks for the opportunity to re-present this great project. As you said, Councilman Hogue, you guys commissioned us to envision what could be possible from Bell Street to all the way to Kirby Park. And so we've done that. In some areas we're spending a little bit more time developing specifically around the downtown area. So we've abbreviated what you're going to see today from what's on the website. This is primarily what you'll see is around the downtown area. And then I'll speak a bit about what we'll get in this, what I'll call the first phase, which is around the $6 million mark. Here are some goals that we set for ourselves as we were working. When this project is complete, that is the $13 million project, you'll be able to get on your bike at Bell Street and ride virtually uninterrupted all the way to Kirby Park. Below most of the automobile bridges, there will be a pedestrian bridge so that you won't have to get up and cross a dangerous street as you make your way along the river. So that's just a great opportunity to go that whole distance, and it creates lots of possibilities for things to happen along the way. Additionally, we're hoping to link into certain areas, specifically the downtown, in a north-south direction, and make it easier for folks to know where the river is, create some identity there, and to link into different neighborhoods as well. We're hoping to provide accessibility, that is, meet the Americans with Disabilities Act. Several places along the river have real issues with guy wires coming down that are dangerous. Some slopes don't meet accessibility standards, so we're hoping to address most of those. Obviously, we're hoping to increase activity and the amount of people along the river. There's so many entities that have a genuine interest in what happens down there. And so through this project, we're hoping to create a collective vision that we can all get behind. Specifically in the downtown area, especially, we would want to create some economic viability. And lastly, although this is already in place, to create an identity for San Angelo. The river already gives us that, but we're hoping to build on that and really make it a special place. Sometimes folks have asked me, why go to the river? Well, we're going to hopefully create reasons that folks and families can go down there. And this is an important one, going with the givens. That is, there's so much good that's already there. We're not trying to reinvent the river. We're not trying to be San Antonio or any other place. There's so much good that's already there that we're hoping to build on those areas. There's already natural overlooks that we may just sort of augment and supplement. Gosh, I grew up, when I moved here, I'd ride my bike along the river and there was not much happening. It was pretty empty. Nowadays, you can go down there and it's crowded on the weekends, and I think people are beginning to recognize that. And so if we can build on to some of these great things that are already in place, that'll be a good thing that will hopefully take us to this tipping point that you see at the last bullet here. I've told this story before about growing up in Fredericksburg. I'd drive through there, it was a ghost town. Nowadays, it's packed. And I understand that the reason for that is because one store went in and they did it really well. It was called the Homestead. And people began to think, wow, we have something here. Let's build on it. And that's how I see and understand this river project. There's so many good things, and we're inching closer to what I'll call the tipping point that will make it easier to develop that rather than harder or uphill. I already mentioned accessibility and safety, and that's just a given that we're going to address many of those issues. One thing that you guys, I can't remember if we talked about this last time, but there's an opportunity here to create the Furthest West Texas Paddling Trail. This is a state program that we would by far be the furthest west in Texas by some 300 miles. But this top blue dot, let's see if I can get a cursor here. Right here is downtown. There'd be a launching point just below Johnson Dam, and we could take a kayak or a canoe, go through Bell Street, and with several portage points, these smaller red dots, you can make your way all the way to Lake Nasworthy. I've been working with Lauren Shrub now? She just got married, so. And we're developing what this might look like, but it's a great opportunity. There is some grant money out there in the state to really create a recreational opportunity for us. Now I'm going to launch into some very quick image, I'll call them snapshots, of a couple of directions that we could be heading. I've talked about image, and I think crucial to this project is creating a real identity for our river. The San Antonio River has what's called the Riverwalk. People just say the Riverwalk, and it's understood what's meant by that. I think it's possible for us to not copy that, but to really create an identity for our rivers so that at certain points as you drive across or near the river, there's a certain language that is created. And by language, I mean architectural elements that clue you into, I'm in a special area. We might call it the El Paseo. That lexicon is already in that language is already in our San Angelo lexicon. So at different entrance points along the river, we might have special signage. And I'm on the wayfinding committee that's been meeting here, and I've been meeting with them as well. And the signage here may change, so, but the idea will remain the same. That is to create this vocabulary or language that tells you you're in a special place. It might even be possible to create different zones. This might say river stage, museum. You can see as well that we're creating safe pedestrian zones along certain bridges here, trying to link the north side to the south side here. And so that you can, walk and not have to worry about cars as they're coming down.